In early March, we all knew something was coming. We started to prepare. But none of us could predict how dangerous it would be. The panic started to spread. So there's no milk, there's no baby formula, there's no nappies, there's no paracetamol.
Yeah, people are scared.
I know.
Which originate
we will immediately close all shops selling non-essential goods, including...
I just can't believe that we now live in a time when our children aren't going to school, we're not going to work, and we could get arrested for hugging. Wave! Bye, Betsy! London's just not London. There's no one here. I'm aware that however careful I am, there's still a higher risk than staying at home. Let's get to see everyone sanitising regularly. Morning, how are you? Struggled to sleep last night because of what's been going on. The first few days of lockdown were surreal and frightening, particularly for those shielding like Hayley. I met her and best friend Kelly just after she'd been told she'd have to stay home for 3 months.
So obviously I can't get stuff, so luckily my best friend there, she lives around the corner, so she's volunteered to go and get some stuff and drop it off on the doorstep.
We knew we had to stick to the tight restrictions because intensive care units were struggling to cope. And so Thursday brought much needed togetherness because this virus was starting to affect everyone. My uncle's got COVID-19, he's in France.
He's got a pain in his chest,
Still now?
Yeah, and he got...
The NHS.
By the end of March, my uncle was in hospital and more than 700 people in London alone had died.
it is completely unimaginable, and we're not at the peak yet.
In April, hundreds of people were dying every day. The terror was visible everywhere. But there was also generosity, Londoners helping the vulnerable. Lockdown exacerbated London's divide, visible at food banks, but most starkly in the statistics. Key workers were dying at a much higher rate than the rest of the population. But the people keeping London going kept working. Just got a text. My uncle is now off oxygen. But so many others lost loved ones. And their stories of goodbyes through gloves will stay with me. People are back to work, but look how empty it is. This is Waterloo Station at 8 a.m. As we moved past the peak, the world felt like it was opening up a little. Who's coming? My children saw my mum at a distance. But this ongoing lack of physical contact is unbearable for some, like Leslie, whose mum Blanche is in a care home.
And this is my gorgeous, adorable little mum who I haven't given a cuddle for 6 months. And we love each other, don't we? I'm just worried that her anxiety level is going up as the separation goes on and on. My fear is that I've given my mum her last cuddle.
Hello, ladies.
Hello, darling.
Last night I went to see Hayley again. She's been shielding for months, but now she's working and can finally have a drink with her best friend. 6 months, what's it been like?
Horrific. You can't see your loved ones, and that's what killed me. I couldn't see my nieces, couldn't see my nan.
I used to hear her on the phone crying to me. I'm so down, and it was heartbreaking.
She dreads the thought of another hard lockdown.
I don't think I could do it again. I literally don't think I could do it again. It's just like a nightmare for me.
The struggle against...
And last night, the Prime Minister said we all need to be much more careful to protect Hayley and others.